welcome to my channel. We are doing burnt ends, but this time we're doing pork belly instead of beef burnt ends. These are tasty as can be. This is actually my first time, not only first time cooking them, but this is also my first time eating them. I've never, in all my years living in Kansas City, you'd think I'd eat a lot of barbecue, and really I haven't until this last year, and suddenly I'm finding I'm a pretty big fan of it. So I wanted to try these pork belly burnt ends because I've heard a lot about them in some of the areas here in Kansas City that make them. So I wanted to give it a try and see if mine are even close to competing at that level, which is probably not, but you know what, I'm going to give it my try. So I've already tried these and I love them. They are delicious, they're packed full of flavor, and it's pretty much bacon candy, which is awesome. So I'm going to walk you through the next steps on how we came to this point. The good news is it's really not a long effort. You can really get these smoked, get them prepped, get them smoked, and done, let them rest. All of that in a good 5-6 hours. So, you know, if you're wanting to do something for a game day, for Chiefs game day, this is a good one. You get up at 6 in the morning, and by noon you can have everything sitting out ready to go, and you can have yourself some delicious burnt ends while you watch Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill dominate, for example, the Atlanta Falcons. We'll go ahead and get started and stay tuned for the next steps. Okay, so the first step we're going to do here for these pork bellies, we're going to slice them into 1.5-inch cubes. We've got 3 different pork bellies here. We couldn't find a larger slab, so we've got 3 5-pound slabs that we're going to use, and we're going to cube these up, get them seasoned, and get them ready to go on the smoker. I think I'm gradually getting bigger slices as I go. These are going to shrink down, so it's okay if it's a little big, but this one's pretty big. This part's just tedious, not difficult, but it's tedious, so I will probably just fast forward this part for you so you don't have to watch it all. Alright, so there's one 5-pounder. I'm going to go ahead and get all these other ones cut up off camera, and when we come back it'll be like magic, it's already done. Alright, we've got these all cut up, and it looks like a couple big old piles, so we'll go ahead and get started on seasoning these. So I'm just going to put them in a couple of pans here. I did not do a very consistent job on my cuts. So these are pretty erratic in the sizes of them, but I much prefer working with larger cuts of meat because this is just tedious, kind of annoying, doing all these little pieces. But looks like to get them fully covered and seasoned with the rub, you really need to, so I get it, don't like it. Alright, so I've got some of these covered. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of these, and then we'll get them ready to be on a smoker. So we'll be right back. Okay, we got 3 full pans of these. We got them all seasoned and ready to go. So we are going to put these away for now, and then we'll get ready to put them on the smoker here in a bit when the smoker's all ready to go. This is quite a few of them, so we're going to spread them out a little bit so they'll cook a little more evenly. I'm not going to put this full of a pan in the smoker, but it's going to really pack the smoker full, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, we'll be back here in a bit for the next part. Alright, we are up bright and early. We prepared these a little bit in advance so that we didn't have to fight with them this morning. So we've got them all cubed up, they're all on the smoker, and they're ready to go. We got the firebox going, and we got a little smoke producing. So I'm going to go ahead and get this shut. We're going to cook these for a couple of hours, and then I'll come back out. We're going to cook these at pretty high temperature, so this is going to be at about a 250, 275. We'll go ahead and get this all closed up, let it cook, and then we'll be back here in just a little bit. All right, so we've got these all on here for a couple of hours, and we're ready to take them off and get them put in the pans, covered, and put back on. So we'll go ahead and get these off of here. And I won't lie, there's a couple of the really small pieces that were pretty done that I could not resist, and I went ahead and I may have had a bite. They're delicious, by the way. So this is going to take me a bit here, take these off one by one by one. So I'm going to keep doing this, and then we'll come back here in a bit. Okay, so the tedious effort of taking every individual cube off the smoker is done. We've got them all sitting here in 3 different aluminum pans. So we're just going to throw some butter on here, little slices of butter, and then we're going to put some brown sugar on top of it. And then we're going to cover this with aluminum foil and put it back on the smoker for a couple of hours. So I'm going to just make sure these are all kind of smashed down where they're not going to protrude over the aluminum foil first off. And I did have to put 3 different racks in there of these because we had so many of them. Ideally, I prefer to just stick with 1 rack or just the top 2. The challenge with doing that is I've got some burn ends that came off pretty burnt, and I've got others that came off looking just right. So it was a little bit of an experiment for me. I've not done this before, and it was a little new. So overall, I'm happy with it. I don't think it came out bad, but it is it is a learning experience. So I'll go ahead and get started with some butter here. In case you've not seen how to cut butter before, I'm going to do it on screen for you to make it a little easier to follow along. And then I will have other butter just magically appear moments later that has already been cut. The power of Hollywood. We're pretty fancy around here. And as you can tell by my size here, I'm a big fan of butter. Butter adds to everything, so I'm not too shy about putting large quantities of butter on here. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright, so we've got that one cut up. I need my other butter to magically appear. And just like that, there it is. Cut a little better than what I cut, so, I won't take it personal. It's not a contest. But I clearly lost. There. I think we're good. Alright, so I got the butter on here. I'm not going to do a lot of brown sugar. These are pretty good as is. And I'd give you a measurement, but I'm not really using a measurement, so just do what you think is right. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. So the next step is really just to get this aluminum foil on them and get them back on the smoker. I can already see these things are going to be really dangerous because they're just little squares. I mean, it's not like you're eating that much. It's not that many calories, right? You just had 1, just had 2, just had 47. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. So I may have to set one of these aside, take it in there when I work, put it on my desk, and just pop them like they're little Skittles or something. That probably won't add to my weight issue here at all. Alright, we got 3 of them done. 3 of them ready to go on the smoker. So I won't bore you with those details. I'm going to go just throw them on the racks, and then we are ready to go. So we'll check back here in a bit. Alright, so we are inside. We're ready to put the barbecue sauce on the burn ends and get them back on the smoker for just about another 15 minutes, and then we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. on number one. See all that steam escaping. Man, does that look good. Alright, so I'm just gonna take this, and just spread it on here. And we're using Sweet Baby Ray's. It's a popular choice around here. And the final tray, because I'm a bit of a picky eater and I think these taste great just the way they are, we are not going to add any barbecue sauce to these. These I think are going to be perfect just the way they are. So I'm just going to mix them up. There's a lot of butter at the bottom. So I'm just mixing them up to make sure that they all get that butter pretty evenly. Alright, so there really won't be much else from here. So I'm going to go ahead and try this and then we'll sign off. Really can't say enough about that seasoning, how it just gives it that, just a little bit of spice, but it really gives a sweet flavor. You add the butter and you add the brown sugar, and then it just makes that really pop. Aftertaste, you get a little bit of a burn, but nothing really super spicy. Honestly, I love it. And I can just sit here and just candy after candy after candy, and just snack on these. I like to put these on in a bowl and just put them on like a desk, so you walk in, you just grab them. I don't know if that's possible, but I do it. So, alright, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Check out my other videos, like this one, subscribe to the channel, let me know if you have any questions, any comments, and I appreciate you watching.